Hey, fam. Hey, it's your girl, Michelle Franklin. It is, what's today? Tuesday. I'm like, where's my little cheat thing at the bottom? Cheese. Tuesday, May the 9th. Um, it's May the 9th, y'all. It's Tuesday. It's your girl, Michelle Franklin. Miss Michelle D.I. herself. I got so much going on in my mind right now. I'm trying to focus. Miss Michelle D.I., I am your faith walker, honey, the one that is here to tell you that there are no coincidences in this world, only God's divine intervention in our lives. And community builder just means what? I am here, honey, to bring you the information that you need so you can get to who you are, to purpose, and who you're supposed to be in this world. I'm bringing you the necessary information so that you can live. I'm like, what are my earrings doing? Y'all like my earrings? These were so cute. These are so cute to me. Notice your girl every day in the earrings, honey. Check the earrings every day. It's gonna be something crazy. They're gonna be super cute though. Ain't she cute? Reminded me of a round the way fillet. That's what I am. I'm the round the way girl. Yes. Shout out LL Cool J. Look, I can't wait to meet you. I'm speaking stuff into existence. This is where I'm at in my this stage of my life. I'm speaking stuff into existence. I am imagining people that I'm going to be interviewing, like Oprah and Tyler Perry and Kevin Hart and Will Smith. I have one question. I'm like, I have a podcast, so I just want to ask each person one question. I have one question. I know that sounds crazy. It's a different spin, but that's where I'm at with it. You got to do stuff different. Can't be like everybody else. I have one question. If I had to ask them one question, what would it be? I have my one question. I'm ready for Denzel, for Samuel L. Jackson. I got my one question. I've been writing it down in my books. I'm like, oh, when the day comes and I get to meet them, it might be fast. They celebrities, so I don't know. It might be quick and fast. I just have my one question. Just ask you a question. Just like when I ran up on Bobby B. Hey, can I get this picture? He was looking at me side-eyed, y'all. He was like, I'm already taking a picture. I was like, okay, but when you finish that picture, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? That's what you got to do. You got to go after it, honey. You got to go after it. Inky Johnson is an amazing. If y'all don't know who Inky is, Lord have mercy. YouTube the man. You need to get you some Inky Johnson in your life, honey. Look, and you're welcome. On the front side, because he is what you need. Get you some Inky Johnson in your life. Inky talks about, after he's a football player, that's what he thought he was going to be doing. You have these dreams and these plans for your life. The construction people outside really want to start drilling right now while I'm on my, okay. All right. This is what we're doing. It's live, honey. This is what we're doing. It's live. I can't move. I'm not moving. Inky Johnson. That's a lesson for everybody. Just stay focused. Keep doing what you're doing. It's okay. Stuff is going to happen. It's beyond your control. Keep going. Okay. Inky Johnson was talking about he was a football player. He had all these dreams and aspirations of being this great football player. He had put in the work, right? And he got into this terrible, how he got injured, right? Very unexpectedly in one of the games, got injured. Career over. Arm disabled, right? And so he talked about that beginning part and kind of, in this space and, what he was going to do with his life. And so he wrote a book and he talked about one day he just got this premonition he wanted to meet Oprah. He needed to meet Oprah. He had this whole big thing. And his wife was telling me he was crazy. Like, what? What you gonna do? He jumps in his car, drives to Chicago, drives to Harpo Studios. How, first off, to just think about this. What would it take for you to step outside your comfort zone and do something crazy when you have an idea, especially when you just on some purpose-filled stuff? You don't know, like, if you don't just be open and just be open, right? If you just be open to whatever comes, to those thoughts, those ideas, you're like, what? That's crazy. How am I gonna pull it off? That's not your part. It's not your part to figure all of the stuff out. If God gave you the idea, spirit, whoever, whatever you believe, universe, whatever you want to say, mine is God gives me all that I have. If you get the idea, right, you don't have it just because. God is not a just because God. You got it for a reason. Stop trying to figure all the stuff out. That is the foundation of faith, honey. You get these ideas. I don't know how it's going to happen, but you do it anyway. You do it scared, right? Do it anyway. That is the point. Do it anyway. So he jumps in his car. He drives up to Harpo Studios, and he said he sat on the curb. Of course, he went and he tried. He was like, she's not even here. Sat on the curb, said he was sitting there. He was waiting. All of a sudden, he got this whim and this feeling. Looks up. Who is getting out of the limo? Oprah. God's timing, guys, is everything. Y'all think these things are a coincidence that is happening in your life, honey? There's no such thing. There are no coincidences in this life. Only God's divine intervention in our lives. You can look at it how you want to look at it. Oh my God, that just so happened. Just happenstance. God's divine intervention in our lives is real. And all we have to do is we have to start paying attention. Slow down enough, right? Slow down enough to like pay attention. Pay attention to what you are supposed to be doing. You're like, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. You've been dreaming about something. What you been dreaming about? What idea popped in your mind that you shot down because you didn't believe that you were going to be able to do it? Because you didn't have all the answers. Because you're waiting for all your ducks to line up and be in a row. My pastor, when I moved to Baltimore, my first pastor, Pastor Tyrone Dorsey, he used to say, I'm all in your Kool-Aid and I got your flavor. That's I feel like I'm all up in somebody Kool-Aid. What's your flavor, honey? Got your yeah, okay. Just saying. And as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me, right? I have to, and that's why I'm talking about this stuff, because I know what I endure. I know what I've endured, and I know what I continue to endure. I was very emotional this morning. That's why it took me a little bit to get on. And in just true transparency, that's just who I am. In true transparency, I got to go back a little bit and tell you why. In 2015, my big mom and my dad passed away, right? People that follow me, y'all know. It took me on this spiral, and why I am so passionate about speaking about depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and now PTSD, right? Because I did not know that I was suffering. I was in that thing for 2 years, going and being and doing, right? And a few weeks ago, my nephew passed away suddenly. And I know how long it took me, and I still struggle. And it's been 7 years, it's 8 years this year. I still struggle, right? And so I was struggling and didn't know I was struggling because I was just going and doing and being as I go and do and be, right? As we do go and do and be. And so, but this morning, I shared very transparently on one of my favorite clubhouse rooms, Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. This past month, since my nephew's been gone, I don't know if it's affecting me like this, and I knew that it would. I knew what was coming. But if it's affecting me like this, I just pray for my brother. I pray for my niece. I pray for everybody that's grieving out there, because it is a struggle. It's a conscious decision every day to get out of the bed, to be productive. I mean, you have to muster it up. You have to talk yourself into. You have to. Or you can very easily, if you decide. I started hitting drive-thrus like mad. I gained so much weight, damn near 80 pounds. Damn near 80 pounds. It was about 75. I was up there. I was close to 300 pounds. About 270 something. And let me just say, and I'm saying that because I didn't look at the scale. I didn't look at the scale until after I had lost about 20 pounds. And I was in that 270s mark. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But it's so subconscious that you don't even realize what's happening, right? You don't even realize it. So I'm saying all that to say, Mother's Day is coming up. There are a lot of people that are not excited about Mother's Day coming up. There are a lot of people it's a sad day. They miss their mom. One of the reasons why I have the relationship with my mother that I have is because I watched my mom cry when she was in situations. I watched her as a young girl say, Lord, if my mom was here. I wouldn't be going through this. She would feel like she had somewhere to go when she was in situationships that seemed hopeless to her, right? And so again, there are some people who are not, just so excited about it. That's real. There's some people that are going to be grieving. There are some mothers that have lost their children and are feeling some kind of way because maybe it was their only child. Maybe it was that child that they had that significant and special relationship with. I mean, we all know if you have multiple children, you have your own relationship with with different children. Favorites or whatever you want to call it, but it is what it is. Some situationships, you're closer to some children than you are to others. It just kind of is what it is, right? And sometimes it's not even that you're closer, it's just you have a different bond with each one. And that's one of the things I remembered about my big mama. Everybody talks about her. My big mama had 13 children. 13. And then the 13 all have 5 to 6 to 7 children, right? And then that's my generation. So then all of us have 2 to 5 to 6 children. There's hundreds of us, hundreds. And a mother, a grandmother, a Gigi, a big mama, a nana, whoever you are as a mother in this world, you have your own relationship with each little one. It doesn't knock anything from the other ones, but you have your own relationship. And that's one of the things that I cherish about my big mama is that anytime any one of the children or the grandchildren or the great grandchildren are talking about her, everybody is saying something a little bit different about their relationship or what she might have done for them or what she might have taught them or something that she said. And so to be grieving the loss of a mother figure, heavy, right? It's heavy. And one of the first things that I had to do and why I talk about this is because people we don't talk about it. It's uncomfortable. Oh God, and Michelle is talking about that sad stuff again. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be sad. It's not about being sad. It's about acknowledging where you are and what might be affecting you and what may be going on because I did not know. I didn't know that I was grieving. I didn't know. And so I feel like I am you and you are me. We're all out there going through the same things. We just don't talk about it. We just get on social media and post our cute pictures and smile and laugh and go and be and do. As we should, right? But if you don't take the time to figure out why am I feeling like this, to figure out why I just said to my brother, my dad has been passed for all these years, 8 years, right? I couldn't go in the house. I could go in the house, but I couldn't spend the night in the house. My brother still lives in the house. He invited me to spend the night. I noticed this as God is when you are self-reflecting, and I always ask God to show me, the things that I need to work on, the things that conversations that I need to have with the people that I love, those things. I ask God to just show me what do I need, show me, and then I'll start seeing stuff. I'll start hearing conversations. I might be sleeping, wake up with it. I might be driving and see it. I might be talking to you as I'm talking to you right now. Downloads are coming. When you ask for it, he'll give it to you. You got to believe. You got to be open. Yeah, I'm not privy to this because I'm just so special person. It's available to everybody. So I'm telling my brother, I said, I had this download that I might have offended my brother. My baby brother, like every time I go home, I'm like, damn, Shell don't want to, maybe he feel like Shell don't want to spend no time with me, or she don't want to, she don't want to stay over here or whatever. And he don't know why. And I haven't shared it. I'm just going on, okay, brother, I'm going, all right, back. And he may be feeling some kind of way, but he ain't said nothing. But I felt it in my heart. When I asked God to show me, I felt it in my heart that I may have hurt my brother indirectly, right? And so I said to him just last week, I said, hey, brother, this came up on me. When I come home, I know he used to ask me when it first happened, hey, shall stay at the house? Yeah, come on, I'm happy you coming. Come on, you can stay with me. And I would just say, no, I'm going to stay at mom's house. That was all I would say. 8 years later, I'm saying today, I said last week, brother, a lot of things happen in that house. It's a lot of memories, and I could feel Dad's spirit in there. And even here, like I see that, I got this bird and I have this whole thing. We'll talk about that later. But it's different when it's potent, right? When it's so potent. When things come so loud, right? And so I said to him, I said, when I come in the house, it's one thing, but I can't stay there. I couldn't stay there before because I hadn't dealt with the feelings. How many feelings do you have about something that you haven't dealt with? You feel some kind of way about it, but instead of talking about it, we just hold that thing in. You holding that thing in. You're not talking about it. It's stuff from your childhood. I said, brother, there were things that happened in this house because we had a lot of great things that happened in the house, but we also had a lot of things that wasn't so great that happened in the house. And I was dealing with all of the memories. And I wanted to stay in a place where I was honoring my dad. I didn't want to go to a place where I was remembering the bad things. And so for that, I would just say, no, I'm going to stay at mom's. What is the things inside of you that you have pushed down? I call it the what's in the pit of the belly stuff. What are the things that you have pushed down? We push that thing down, and where's most of your fat? Even if you're small and you have a little bit of fat on your body, where is it? It's in your belly because we pushing these things down. We're not saying nothing about it. We going on about our business, smiling and being and going and doing. That's real. It's uncomfortable. I want to talk about that stuff. Oh my God, you're making me feel some kind of way. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to talk about it. But the first thing that I can do to honor my big mama, to honor my dad, to honor anybody that has passed away, I'm honoring my nephew by teaching about this faith walk. I'm honoring him because there are people out there that are feeling some kind of way, right? When my nephew passed a couple of weeks ago, we didn't have all the answers. We didn't have all of the things. I went down to see my brother. That first drive back from Austin, my brother's 4 hours away from me. All you have are your thoughts. All you have is prayer. All you have is, Lord, what can I do? There's a feeling of helplessness in some situations. Have you ever had a friend or somebody that you loved when the situation came, you can't do nothing about it? You want to fix it for them, but you can't do nothing but just be there. All I could do was wrap my arms around my brother. That's all I could do. That was I'm here. But I'm 4 hours away. So I'm thinking on that first ride back, what can I do? What was my nephew thinking? What was going on? What could I have said? What could I have done? Right? You ever have that where you have these situationships? You trying to, what can I do in it? I kept seeing the word hopelessness. Hopelessness. There's a feeling of hopelessness out in the world. People are feeling hopeless in their situations. And the only thing when I prayed about it that I know that can combat hopelessness, which has for me, because I've been in states of hopelessness in my life, was just my faith. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know how to fix this for my brother, but I know that it will get better. I don't have a timestamp. But all I could do was sit on my faith and know all you can do is sit on your faith. What if I don't have any faith? What if I don't believe like that? Well, you've tried everything else. The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and expecting a different result. Baby, if you've tried everything else, why not? What you got to lose? What you got to lose? This is not about converting anybody to Christianity or being some holier than thou person or feeling like you got to be perfect in this world, because it's no perfect beings on this side of heaven. Ain't nobody trying to make you perfect. You don't have to be perfect to talk to God. You don't have to be perfect to have a relationship with God. You don't have to be perfect to be in his presence, to hear from him, to have faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That means no matter what I'm going through, I believe that some way, somehow, eventually, it's going to work out. Storms don't last always. Trouble don't last always. And I keep hearing people say, if there is a God, then how could I be going through? Why would he take my nephew? Why would my nephew do something like that? Why would so-and-so pass away? Why would this happen to me? Why has my life been this? What about all the things that's happened to me? Why did my mom love me? Why did my dad leave me? Why? If there is a God, you know what I have to say to that, honey? Nobody. First off, I'm sorry that you've endured all the things that you have endured. I could say I've endured some things too. I can say your neighbor and your brother or whoever, but guess what? Everybody endures. You're not the only one. And the one thing that I know for sure, when I started sharing my story, when I was in some woe is me, somebody else's story is worse than my story. And I got to a place of gratefulness. I said, ooh, I'm going through, but I ain't going through what they going through. That's what we have to do when we're feeling this thing, this why, because we get stuck there. And the why is this happening to me? What did I do? I've had this conversation with God, what the fuck? Just like that. What the fuck? What did I do? I'm a great person. I do great things. I'm trying to be a good person in this world. Why is this happening to me? Why are these people treating me like this? I didn't do nothing to these people. What is going on with this? Why do I deserve this? And just as soon as I said it, just as soon as I said it, just as soon as I feel it, who am I not to? What makes me immune to any of it? What makes you immune to any of it? We're not immune. Nobody is immune to any of it. We all have things that have happened to us. We've all been in situations, right? We've all gone through. I don't know why your story is your story, but everybody got one. Everybody on this side of heaven got one. I've taken care of children whose mother have left them in abandoned buildings for days. Babies. Why? I don't have a good answer. All I know is that nobody is immune. All I know is that those same children got some foster parents that took care and loved and poured into them. And then I got the opportunity to meet these babies and pour and love and get into them. If we focus on the negative things, that's what you're going to get, is the negative things. I could focus on, why did my nephew do X, Y, Z? Why, Lord, he was so young, only 17. I could focus on that. Or I could focus on his beautiful smile and his beautiful spirit and everything that he brought to me in the 17 years that I had the honor and the privilege of being his aunt. You got to get to a place of gratefulness. What are you focused on? What are you focused on, honey? If you stay in the negative things, this is always happening to me. Nothing is ever going to get better. Why is this happening to me? My marriage is terrible. This is falling apart. My husband is this. My wife is that. Nobody loves me. Is that true? Is it really that nobody loves you? Is that true? I know that's how your emotions may have you feeling, but is it true? What are you telling yourself to keep you in this dark place? You got to get out of there. Get out of there. It's not true. What I've learned, even in situations when I felt like somebody should be responding to me or somebody should be loving me, say it's my dad, say it's my mom, say it's my brothers, say it's my sister, say it's my cousin, whoever it is, God always sent me somebody else. They weren't my blood, but He always sent me somebody to love on me. Always. Pay attention. Is it nobody? Is the situation that you're in, are you in the situation because you don't love yourself enough to get out of it? Wait a minute, that's a whole nother conversation. I'm just saying. Because sometimes we get comfortable and complacent in the crazy. It sounded so good for me to have this place of sympathy and empathy, for me to have this place of my story was my husband came home and said he didn't want to be married anymore. Oh my God, that's jacked up. Oh, you know how much I can play that? Oh, what can you play? What story have you been playing and leaning on and guiding on? What is your woe is me story? When you gonna turn the page? It's so much left. Look, blank pages. It's so much more. Look, it's so much more. It's so much more. This is not the end of your story. It was one chapter in your life. You reading a chapter over and over and over again. And don't get it twisted. Because I'm not that person that's saying, forget what happened. Right? You don't forget what happened. Sometimes you can't forget what happened. I I was just diagnosed in September with PTSD. So guess what that means? Your girl done had some traumatic things happen to her in her life. Multiple things. I'm not going to forget the things. But I'm also not going to allow them to consume nor control my life. Because at the end of the day, I have a choice. You have a choice on how you deal with grief, on how you deal with the depression, on how you deal with the anxiety, and how you deal with the panic attacks, and how you deal with the PTSD. You have a choice. And so this time around, because we all have people that we have lost, and some losses are, how to say it? And some losses go so deep that you lose yourself. How am I going to make it? What am I going to do? There are some losses, it just hit different. It hit different. It hit different, right? So I had a conscious decision to make with this, with the loss of my nephew. I watch videos. I had videos of him on Instagram. I watched them over and over and over again. And I would hear our last conversation. And I would think about all the things that I wanted to say to him because I didn't get to talk to him on his birthday. And I thought about the conversation that I wanted to have with him and his sister. But I couldn't stay in that place. That was a rabbit hole that I was going down. It was a rabbit hole. Does that mean that I'm not going to have nights where I'm feeling some kind of way? It doesn't. Does it mean that you're not going to have to, you got to pretend and be or whatever? It doesn't. If you're feeling the way that you're feeling, feel that way. But you know what I do is I give myself some time. I give myself some grace. And I give myself some time. So I'm telling you, give yourself some grace and you give yourself some time. But set a time on your phone. Time limit. I'm going to give myself this weekend. And then I got to get back to business. I got to get back. Because at the end of the day, as sad as it is, you are still on this side of heaven. You're still here for a reason. And although you might not feel like doing anything, you might not feel like going and doing and being, but in the going and doing and being and putting some purpose on that thing, maybe helping somebody else. One thing I understand now than I have in my entire life, it's never been so clear. Never been so clear. We do not go through these things for no reason. God is not a just because God. As jacked up as some of the situation is and has been and have been, right? The childhood trauma and all of the stuff, as jacked up as they have been, somebody needs your story. Somebody needs that testimony. Somebody needs that, yo, I made it through. Yo, you going through that too? Oh my goodness, I've been through that. Oh my gosh, it was a terrible feeling, but you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. So this month, as we are going through, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. As God has given me this message for hopelessness, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. God is not a just because God. His timing is always everything. These are 12 things I'm going to share with you. 12 things that you can do. 12 things. One is awareness. Being aware of where you are in your mind. Are you hitting the snooze button? Are you having thoughts that you wouldn't normally have? Are you feeling some kind of way? Sometimes we just go, I went for 2 years just ignoring myself. 2 years, feeling some kind of way. Now, I got to go to work. I got to go to school. I got to take care of these kids. I got to do this. Number 2 is acceptance. If I could do anything to bring back the people I love, oh, best believe it'd be done. But I can't. I can't bring my dad back. I can't bring back my big mama. I can't bring back my nephew. Right? I want to have a conversation with my grandfather. I can't bring him back. That's why I have to accept what life has done while it's lifing. Right? Life is lifing. That's what my girl Jamaica says on Black Coffee and Honey and Grits. Honey, life is lifing. Right? Self-reflection is another thing. How are you handling this thing? Look yourself in the mirror. Are you where you need to be? Are you processing healthily the way that you need to process. Number 4 is courage. Courage is having enough strength to muster to ask for help if you're not in a good place. It takes courage. I know the stigma in society will have you to believe if you're having thoughts of suicide, if you're having depression, if you're having anxiety, that that's weak. But guess what? You know how much courage it takes to ask for help, to not worry about the judgment. Do you know how much courage it takes to do that? So much courage. I had a friend when I first was going through 2015, 2016, and I was talking about, just how I was feeling. And he was like, yo, that's weak. And I remember, like, oh, it was almost like he sliced me in the belly. He might as well have punched me or something. I was like, damn. And I started feeling some kind of way about myself. Like, damn. Then I had to come back and I had to think about that thing. For those people that are saying that it's weak for you to talk about, for you to have the courage to say that you want to handle things a different way. I'm feeling some kind of way. Those people that are judging you, what are they doing? What are they doing? I'm going to tell you, most of them are what? Drinking their problems away, smoking their problems away. Take inventory. We put so much stock in what everybody is doing and how everybody else feels about what we're doing. What are they doing? Don't allow anybody to make you feel some kind of way about you having the courage to handle a situation that they can't handle. I'm very passionate about that. I could go on for days. I'm going to let it go. But I'm just saying, 9 times out of 10, those are bullies. Handling things the wrong way, but yet they're going, those people wish that they had the courage. They wish that they can do what you're doing. Ask for help. Number 5 is self-compassion. Self-compassion. I call it grace. Give yourself some grace, honey. We think we're supposed to be so perfect. I know I walked around like I should be able to handle this. People have passed away before. What's the big deal? It's not a big deal. What's the big deal? It's why you can't get over this one. It goes back to awareness. Some people mean more to you than others. It just is what it is. So there's some people in your life that things happen and it's going to affect you differently. If something happened to my brothers, what? I'm going to process that thing differently, right? Then if I hear somebody even if some people on the job that pass, there's some people on the job that are like your favorite people. It's going to affect you differently. Give yourself some grace, honey. Give yourself some grace. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is different than awareness. Mindfulness is being very intentional about your mind, about your peace, about keeping things at a level of peace. Mindfulness is, I know that I feel some kind of way about this. I know that these things have been going on and I'm feeling some kind of way. So I'm going to intentionally do some yoga. Mindfulness, being aware. Mindfulness is a deeper thing than being aware. Is the action in it. Self-care, so important. We continue again to go and be because that's just what we do. But while you out there pouring and filling out everybody's cup, your cup is running empty. That's what happened to me. My cup was running empty. It was empty. It was dry. It was a desert land. Physically, I done gained 270 some pounds. Y'all seen the pictures. Y'all seen me. Y'all that know me. Y'all seen me. You don't scroll down and see the pictures, honey. It's there. Ain't it? It is what it is. Your girl was out there, honey. Gone. 270 some pounds. So physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, honey. You got to get centered. Again, that's that faith walk. You got to get centered. You got to get your emotions. You don't know why you snapping, why you angry, why you always mad. Somebody do this, you cussing everybody out. You got an attitude. You go to work, they like, what's wrong with her? She always act like that. Why she always like that? Oh, she got an attitude. Why she got an attitude? Ain't nobody done nothing to you. You just waking up angry. Why? Self-care, honey. Get yourself together. Take some time. Take you a bath. Light a candle. Go get your toes done. Go get your hair did. Go get your nails done. It makes a difference. Okay? Number 8. I had to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 8 is gratitude. It's gratitude. We can look at these things from a negative place. We could. Sometimes you can be very well justified for the things that you've lost and for the things that have happened to you. We can look at it, but you can also look at it from a place of gratitude. Man, those times on the porch with my big mama, priceless. My dad and his stories and all of the stuff, and him videoing us when we was little, and him coming to my life and pouring into me as if I was his own daughter, as if I had his blood running through my body. Grateful. The lessons that he taught me. Grateful. Right? The time that I've shared with my nephew. He's teaching me lessons in his passing. I'm grateful. That's a different look. To shift the mindset, to shift. It's very intentional how you're looking at these things. Gratefulness. Number 9 is connection. Honey, stop trying to do everything by yourself. Right? It was so easy for me to just curl up, to just stay in the house, to just not go anywhere, to not do anything, to just lay in this bed. It's easy. It's so easy. Weekends to come, people, I'm sick. Oh, I'm not feeling well, lying. I just couldn't pull it together to get out. Connection. The very first time that I went out with my beautiful nurses, black nurses, Rock, the president, Lisa, called me and she said, my mom was sick at the time and I was feeling some kind of way because I couldn't get up there and get to my mom. And I was just feeling I was just down, but it was just, it bothered me. And I was scared because my mom was really sick. And I was praying and she said, why don't you just come out? Come out. We got this free dinner tonight and everything. I don't feel like going out. I don't want to do nothing. And she's like, it's a free dinner. It's just come out and meet the girls and everything and meet the other nurses and stuff. And I was like, okay. She said it'll just get your mind off things. That's how she said it. Get your mind off things. And I was like, yeah, that's probably going to be good. Because what is the alternative? You sitting and wallowing, right? Distractions are good sometimes. I said sometimes. Distractions are good sometimes. And so I went out. It was the best night. The ladies were amazing. There were people in the group that I hadn't seen in years. Miss Cooper, which was my teacher in LVN school. I hadn't seen her since I graduated from school. All of the nostalgic things started coming up. All of the love that was in the room. You know what it did? It released the serotonin, the happy endorphins that I needed, the dopamine. It gave me all of that. It was a natural release. That's what happens when you have connection. There's a natural release. So call your girlfriends, call your homeboys, call your family, go out, do something, get out of the house, connect. The next one is forgiveness. When I was sitting up thinking about my nephew, the very first thought that I had is, damn, I wish I would have. I had all these thoughts of, I wish I would have. I wish I would have. I wish I would have. I wish I would have talked to him on his birthday. I wish I would have made more effort to call him. I said, you know what? No, when a couple of weeks had passed, I said, you know what? The baby's birthday is coming up. I'll just see them on Friday. I'll go down for the baby's birthday. My nephew passed away on Sunday. The baby's birthday was on Friday. You know the feelings that I had to work through for myself. Why didn't you just call? Why didn't you just make more effort? Why didn't you take some more time? I had to forgive myself for that? I could wallow in that. I could stay stuck there. I could I could beat myself up. I could just stay stuck there. The feelings still come. Every day I think, damn, maybe if I would have had that conversation that I was planning to have, maybe. But I had to forgive myself. What do you need to forgive yourself for? What conversation didn't you have? What did you say? Maybe you said something and you said too much. Maybe you ignored. Maybe you took for granted. It is a all of if I would have known. I wrote this poem about that. If I would have known, if I would have known the last time that I saw you was the last time that I was going to see you, I would have. It's all of that. You got to forgive yourself for that, because that one, deep breaths, deep breaths. The next one is flexibility. You can't have yourself such in a mind state that you thinking this is the only way, though. This is how I normally handle it. I normally just drink. I normally drink my problems away and I just try to forget. I normally just smoke and it's cool. And then I'm chilling. I'm in my thoughts. I ain't bothering nobody. It's not a big deal. Somebody is making phone calls to just sex somebody down because that's their escape. That's how they deal with it. There ain't no judgment over here because I love me some good arms around me. I'm telling you right now. They got to be the right arms, but I loves me some good arms around me. So I'm telling you, no judgment. An escape is an escape. But at the end of it, you're going back home. You'll have the same feelings. You have the same thoughts. You'll have the same. When you see those people that have been on drugs for umpteen years, or you see those people like in B More, the crackheads that are standing on the corner, standing up, leaning, right? Those people done been through some stuff. They're trying to forget something. They haven't forgiven themselves for something. They're grieving about something. Something has happened. You don't get to a point of you just gonna be standing up, or you just standing up high, high out your mind. That's not a just because. That is they're trying to escape. So you have to have some flexibility in your mind to deal with it a different way. To know that the way that you're dealing with things is not the only way to deal with things. I call that being open. Be open to something different. And I feel like if you're watching this, if you're hearing this on the podcast, if somebody sent this to you, whether it's today, May 9th, 2023, or 5 years down the line, God is not a just because God. There are no coincidences in this life. It's time for you to deal with it another way. Get out that box. Be flexible. The last one is persistence. Persistence. That means even when I don't feel like it, I'm going to make a different decision. Do you know how hard it is for me to get up? This is why I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing it for you, but it really is for me. It's hard to get up every day and show up. It's hard to show up when you want to crawl and stay in the bed. I want to stay in the bed, y'all. Just straight transparency. I want to stay in the bed. I want to stay in the bed. I want to wallow. I want to. I want to stay in a place of just why. I want to stay in that place. I want to. Just straight transparency. I want to. There's a sense of guilt. There's a sense of shame that will have you feeling. There's a sense of unworthiness that will have you feeling like you deserve to stay in the wallowing of it all. That you don't deserve anything better. You don't deserve to be happy. Look what you did. That's a different conversation. And me being aware that I've had those feelings within myself. Step one, awareness. Me being aware. Are you aware? What conversations are you having with yourself? When you're aware, then you can make a conscious decision to respond differently. That's it. Not perfectly, just different. That's it. And I don't know how long this feeling is going to be on me where I feel like I want to stay in the bed all day, every day. I want to do it. I want to do it. I'm making a conscious decision to get up. Conscious decision every day to show up. What conscious decisions and changes do you need to make for yourself? What do you need to look yourself in the mirror and say to yourself? What do you need to look yourself in the mirror and forgive yourself for? What do you need to look in the mirror and accept what has happened in your life? You ain't got to tell me. I'm just asking. You ain't got to tell me. You don't have to tell me. I'm going to say this. I'm trying to get back to them finances, but the Lord laid this on my heart, and I just had to talk about grief today because it just laid on me so. There's so many people out there grieving. It's 1 in 5 people that are struggling with mental health, something along in the lines. And like I said, I know those numbers. I know those numbers are higher because we hide. We ain't talking about it. We're not talking about it. We're not telling anybody. We ain't taking those surveys, right? What about those people, all those men out there that ain't going to the doctor? It's not on there. One of the last patients I had at the last office I worked at was this man. I came in. It was a newer nurse that was doing the intake that day. And so the doctor, he came in for depression follow-up. And so the doctor said to do a depression screen on the man and kind of just see where he was, right? If the medicine was working any better, all of the stuff. So the girl go in there, it's like 10 questions she's supposed to ask. The girl go in there and she asked the first question. And the man was like, I ain't answering none of these questions. And so she came out and she was like, he said he's not taking the test. He ain't asking no questions. And so I said, okay, honey, it's okay. I'll go in and I'll talk to him. I don't worry about it. So I go in there, hey, Mr. So-and-so, how you doing today? Doctor wants these tests. We got to take these questions. Let's go down them real quick. And I just go into answering the questions, right? And so there's a question in the survey on the test that says, do you feel like a failure? Or like you let your family down? The man paused. The next thing I know, the man is bawling. I mean, 10, 15 minutes bawling. I had to take a pause, tell the doctor to just hang on and wait while we gave him a minute. He said, my whole family depends on me. He talked about his grandchild and how much he loved the kids and how much he loved taking care. He said, but they just all depend on me. There is this thing where we just take the people, the men in our lives, the mothers, the fathers, we take people for granted. We don't know what people are going through. We don't know what they are enduring. We have no idea. We don't know how they're feeling about themselves. You're just looking and dumping on the husbands, on the wives, on your children, whoever your person is, your significant other, whoever it is. Like, we're just dumping. We have no idea. We just go through thinking about what we need from people. And I'm saying we because I'm guilty. I have to make a conscious decision to not dump, to appreciate that when you're thinking about somebody or when you know that people have made an impact in your life, that you call them and you tell them. If I can get that conversation back with my nephew. And now I feel like I can't even have the conversation with my niece because he's a twin. I feel like she's just thinking, oh, I'm going to say you just saying that because he passed away. Like, it's not genuine. It's all these things we tell ourselves, just do it anyway. Have the conversation anyway. I had the conversation anyway. I'm thinking, I know she might feel like this way, but do it anyway. Love on the people anyway. If somebody come up on your spirit, go ahead and call them, because we take time for granted. We take the people for granted. We take our mothers for granted. It's Nurses Week. You take these great nurses for granted. You know what I mean? People have texted me since I've left the job because I was their person that always did. It wasn't about, hey, Michelle, how you doing? It was, hey, I need so-and-so and so-and-so from you. Can you get so-and-so? Because that was what I did. I did. I'm going to get it done. Is that what you do? You get it done. So stop taking time for granted. Take these lessons: awareness, acceptance, self-reflection, courage, self-compassion, mindfulness, self-care, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, gratitude, connection, forgiveness, flexibility, and persistence. Incorporate them in your life. Incorporate them in your life. I'm done. Look, I'm done. I'm done for today. I'm done with y'all for today. I'm done. I feel like I've made it through another day. When I finish these lives, I feel refreshed. As much as I'm fighting against myself to get on, when I'm getting on, because I'm fighting against all of the negative self-talk. I'm fighting against all of the stuff. Is anybody showing up? Is anybody? I don't know. That's not my part. It's not your part to figure it all out. It's not your part to know all the answers. It's not your part. I don't know who this is for. It doesn't matter. If the Lord gave you a vision, do it. Do it. Get your Nike on. Just do it, boo. Just do it, because you don't know who needs it. I was speaking on Clubhouse this morning, and people were like, Michelle, what you shared, oh my goodness, I needed that. I've been through this. You don't know. That's not your part. I'm putting this out in the universe. The messages and things that help me, Eric Thomas messages that I listened to, he taped those years ago. And when I was intentional going through my life, 2019, 2020, man, those messages were saving my life. Literally, they were giving me life. He was speaking to me. I don't know when he recorded them. T.D. Jakes messages years ago. I don't know when he recorded them. His daughter, Sarah Jakes, years ago. There were multiple people, especially when we was going through the pandemic, that Miss Tabitha Brown, like I feel like I owe her my life. I tuned into her and her family. Baby Fridays with Tab and Chance, I needed it every Friday night. Her and the daughter, her and the baby boy, her and the dog, all of it. I was there for all of it. Gave me life. You don't know who you are going to impact. That's not your business. You just have to do it. Whatever you have to, whatever you're supposed to be doing, whatever the idea is, just do it. Put it together. Put it out there. It doesn't matter. Go get the lesson. Go take the class. Go do what you need to do. What I know for sure is when you walk in your purpose, you inspire others to walk in theirs. That's it. Do you know how many people have inspired me to get me to where I am and what I'm doing today? I didn't have this on my list of things to do. I didn't know I was going to be doing this. I got inspired to do this. I made a conscious decision that I wanted to teach. I wanted to educate. I'm a nurse. I love educating. I found this gift. I realized I found it. You know where it was? Down in my belly. It was inside of me. I didn't know it was in here. It's been in here. What you need is inside of you. You got everything that you need. You ain't got to go buy it. You ain't got to take another class. You ain't got to start. Start. Do something. Do it scared. It ain't got to be perfect. Man, if you go back and look at the first podcast and things that I did when I was first going live, honey, back in 2017, 2016, whatever it was. The lighting was terrible. One of them, it was so dark. The girl was like, I can't see you. I was like, this all the light I have. I kept talking. I was like, I'm sorry. Just listen. I kept going. It was great information. And I got better lighting. Learn as you go. You don't have to have all of the things. Like, oh man, I'm going to write this book. I'm going to do this. And I'm do it anyway. Go ahead and start writing. The stuff is going to come to you. God is going to give you what you need. That's that faith walk, honey. Everything that you need, you already have. And what you don't have, God is going to provide you with. I promise you. Just have a little faith, honey. That's it. Just have a little faith. That's it. Just believe. It's going to come to pass. When is it going to come to pass? I've been waiting. It's going to come to pass. Keep waiting. I forgot that I asked the Lord for patience. They say when you ask for patience, you're ready to wait. You're ready to wait. But right now, I'm waiting. But while I'm waiting, I'm doing some work. And I'm being grateful. And in these valley moments, I know that light is coming. I might not feel it. I might not see it. But I know. Even when I don't want to get out of the bed, I'm grateful that I'm able to get out of the bed. I'm grateful that I'm able to come on and talk with you guys. I'm grateful that I know that even if I never get a message, that I'm helping somebody. I know that. It doesn't matter. Do your part and God will do the rest. Okay? I think I'm going to post about breath work. Okay. I got so much stuff going on, y'all. So much stuff going on. So this is how we're closing. I am going to post today. Today is Don't Be a Crab Tuesday. What does that mean? It means getting your reach back on, boo. You can't go through this life taking. And so I am premiering today my cousin, one of my cousins, Mr. Demetrius Riviera. I am posting. We did a podcast end of March, beginning of April, end of March, April, May. Yeah. So it had to be March. We did it in March. I was supposed to premiere it in April. All of the stuff happened with my nephew, so nothing premiered in April. But I am premiering it today. Now, don't judge me, because guess what? This is where I'm at. I'm doing it anyway. It is not perfect. It does not have my intro. It doesn't have an outro. It doesn't have all of the things that it is because I don't have a virtual assistant right now. I don't have a virtual assistant. My virtual assistant has some mental health things going on. She hasn't been able to come back to work. But guess what? We have to press on. We have to press on. And so I am premiering because when I was watching it, it inspired me so much. This man has gone through and has turned his life around. Have you ever been in some situations where he was like, Lord, 4 felonies? How he come back from 4 felonies? He ain't supposed to come back from 4 felonies. Yeah, it's faith, honey. And he talks about it in his podcast. So it's going to premiere today at 12 o'clock. Be looking forward to be right on my page. I'm going to premiere. It's going to be on the YouTube channel and it's going to be on my Facebook page. And then today I'm just going to post my favorite, my top 5 favorite podcasts. His is number 3. Okay? His is number 3. So that's what we're doing today. That's what we're doing. Still shedding light and love, walking in the midst of the darkness. I am not just talking about this, y'all. I'm walking it as well. I'm walking it as well. So it's your girl, Michelle Franklin. This is Michelle D.I. herself, honey. I don't believe in coincidences, only God's divine intervention in our lives. This community builder, honey, I'm always bringing you information that you need that will help you. It might not always be comfortable information, but it is necessary information that you need while you are on this side of heaven, honey. That is my purpose, because I believe when you walk in your purpose, you will inspire others to walk in theirs. And like Mr. Les Brown, I aspire to inspire until I expire. That's what I'm doing. What you doing? Bye, family. Y'all look for that. Look for them podcasts, honey. They coming. They coming.